How's it going, man? I wanted to address this video a little bit more personally. So I've got a cheeky beer here, and this is maybe how, you know, if I had the choice, if you'd reached out to me and for advice about the whole hair loss situation, which we're going to get into, I like to think this is maybe how we would be able to do it in different times if we could, you know, sit over a cold one or a cup of coffee and have this discussion. And Baldcafe is really the kind of online space for that. But I wanted to, like I said, do this video and address this kind of advice directly to you, especially if you're someone who maybe you've reached out to me, or maybe you're wishing there was someone you feel comfortable enough to reach out to and speak to for advice because you are struggling with the whole hair loss and balding situation. And that's what I want to talk about in this video. So if you've sent me a message or, you know, maybe a comment or something like that, then this is going to be aimed directly at you. And who's this aimed for? This video is going to be for guys any age really, but I think especially a lot of younger guys, maybe, you know, as young as sort of 17, 18, going all the way through into your 30s, 40s, and even older, you know. But it's for the people who they're dealing with the hair situation. Maybe they are, you know, they've been online, they've looked at various things, they want help, they're looking for advice. Okay, it's a scary thing, and it's, you know, it's quite isolating, and it feels alone, right? You often feel alone during these times. Well, maybe you've looked at the possible sort of options out there. You don't feel comfortable putting different chemicals into your body. Maybe the various so-called treatments that are out there, they just don't sit right with you. You feel personally that, you know, you don't want to be reliant on those things for years and years. So where do you go with this stuff? You know, it's a scary time. And, you know, I get these specific emails, and I want this video to be here to, like I said, address you directly. Now, to lay the foundations of this conversation a little bit more, you're probably yet to speak to anyone about this. There's maybe no one around you that you feel comfortable enough to open up to yet. That might even include parents or really close friends. You're worried about how this balding is going to progress. Maybe you want an insight into how things are going to go for you. Like I said, it's a worrying time. And as a result of that uncertainty, you know, your confidence is likely, you know, right down there. I expect one of your biggest concerns is the whole dating game. Probably feeling self-conscious and really kind of up here, really in your own head about things, and it's hard to think clearly during those times. So it's good that you are here on the channel. You're thinking about how you can move forward, how you can get through this time. And like I said, I really want this video to be kind of a direct address, lay things out a bit, and hopefully at the end of this video you're going to feel a lot better about your situation and at least have some initial steps that you can take to get through it and work your way through this, because believe you me, you've already got everything you need, okay, to get past this situation. Sometimes you just need a little nudge in the right direction, and I like to think that's what I'm here to do. So to get into it, straight off the bat, to reiterate, the fact that you're here on this channel, maybe you're doing some Google searches, something like, you know, how to accept balding situation or how to deal with going bald, okay? That is a big first step. It already shows that you've got enough clarity, enough kind of, yeah, maturity, mental maturity to work your way through, even if there's little mini freakouts going on during during this time, right? The fact that you are being proactive about it and looking at, right, how can I deal with this? How can I overcome it and get through it? Okay, that's a big first step. And especially if you've reached out to me personally, you've laid it all out, all those feelings out in an email or in a message, okay? Just to kind of get it off your chest. That is a big first step, getting those things off your chest. And that brings me very nicely to my next point. So you've started with me, right? You've started with the channel, you've started in a comment or a message. The next step is really to find someone who you're going to be able to speak to and a little bit more personally about this with. Now, it's important to note you're not after advice, okay? So you're not looking for someone who is going to be able to tell you, you should do this, you should do that. Okay, that's not what you need. What you need is someone who's going to listen straight up. You need someone who's going to be there, you know, also have a level of maturity so that they just offer you an ear and they're not going to batter you down with, you should do this, you should do that, why aren't you doing this, okay? Now I say get someone, find someone that you can just speak to and get this even further off your chest, out of your head, into the real world, okay? Just that initial, just being able to speak out, immediately gives you a lot of relief, because you're able to kind of just decongest a little bit. Like I said, it's all up here, all that worry, and just being able to speak it out instantly provides you with a level of relief, gives you a little bit of respite from the situation, okay? Now, more importantly than that, what it's going to do is, as you're kind of verbalizing those fears, you know, maybe you're saying like something like, you know, like, how am I ever going to be able to find someone to like date or to meet or to talk to and things like that, right? You say it out loud. Now, up in your head, when you're just kind of worrying about that, it seems rational and it seems like, yeah, no, I'm not going to be able to do that. Or let me give you a specific example. Maybe it's like, oh, how am I ever going to find the job I want or a good job? How am I going to get a good job if I don't have that sort of that look that you feel like you need, or that is really, really important, right? How is a bold guy ever going to get a good job? Okay. And then when you actually say that out loud, if we think about it here for a minute, it kind of sounds a little bit unrealistic, right? Now up here, when you don't have the chance to be able to speak those things, it seems like, yeah, that's definitely what's going to happen. But like I said, once you actually speak those things out loud, you think, actually, that sounds a little bit silly, a little bit daft. Like, maybe you want to be an IT consultant, or you want to program for a living, or literally think of any career move that you want to do, even modeling, right? And you think, having no hair, having a shaved head, does that automatically mean that you can't do that thing? No, right? No, it doesn't mean that. And that is what being able to verbalize and speak out to someone, just like it can be confidential, or, you know, like I said, somewhere that you just feel comfortable doing so, right? Is such a massive part of that, okay? Having the chance to speak those fears out, because then you kind of start to figure things out for yourself, right? You start to think, okay, how am I ever going to find someone to date? Well, maybe your old man, your dad, right? Maybe he lost his hair, and you think, well, thinking about it, he found someone and had kids, and he's, you know, done all right for himself. So again, does that mean that I'm not going to be able to do those things? And of course, it doesn't mean that. But when you're freaking out, when it's all up here, it's really, really hard to be able to think rationally like that. And I think one of the biggest things, that finding someone you can just like open up to a bit like that, or just speak out, even if it's to yourself, mate, even if it's just to yourself in your room, wherever, right? Speak those things out loud, and then kind of reassess, are those fears realistic? So if we talk a little bit more about dating in general, more specifically, okay, it is so easy to, when this whole hair stuff is going on, like I said, you're in your head, to think that that is going to be the primary thing, that is going to be your absolute biggest challenge to overcome, like the one and only challenge, the one thing that's going to stop you from succeeding in the dating world. But again, thinking a little bit more logically, before the hair loss stuff was even a thing in your life, right? Think back to when you were out there chatting up people, things like that. Okay, maybe you felt a little bit more confident in yourself, but no doubt there would have been challenges during that time as well. Okay, so just if you had little insecurities, maybe you thought your outfit wasn't on point. Okay, maybe you got a little bit too drunk, or just maybe, you know, you felt like you weren't feeling it, you didn't have the gift of the gab, right? You didn't have the chat, okay? Through the dating world, okay, when you're talking to people, when you're meeting people, there's all sorts of challenges going on, okay? Maybe you feeling less confident in your style now, in your appearance, because you've got your thinning hair. That's just another one of those things that you are going to be able to push past, just like you did before, okay? Like I said, it's really easy to make this the one thing, the hair situation, feel like that's going to be the be all and end all, the sole reason why you're going to have super difficulty in the dating world. But just like you pushed past those little challenges before, seriously, you're going to be able to do it with the hair situation now. And I want to remind you, maybe you are a 20-something, right, a young guy, let's say, hungry, right? You're probably studying, or you're working towards, you know, building yourself in your career, in who you are. You're educating yourself. You're educating yourself in an emotional sense as well as in an academic sense. You're young, hungry, driven, or at least maybe you felt like that before you started to experience hair loss. Don't let it cloud your judgment. You are very much still that young, hungry, driven person. Now, there's no telling in how long it will take you, but being able to overcome the challenge that this hair loss has presented to you will no doubt make you a stronger person for it. And that is really, really key to keep in mind as you're going through this hair loss journey, especially if there's a point that you come to where you can transcend it, you can completely overcome it. Do like I did, go with the best style. If you want to rock the shaved head, you can totally do it. It's just another haircut at the end of the day. And like I said, overcoming that challenge will make you an even better person than before this even happened. So think about your own vision, your own drive in your life when you take hair loss out of the equation. That is who you are. That's what you've got going on, okay? And really keep that in mind. Bet on yourself to achieve those things that you want to get done, that you want to smash, that you want to achieve, because betting on yourself is honestly the only sure bet that you can ever make. Honestly, losing your hair, going through hair loss is just another reminder that there's going to be bumps in this road to you achieving those things, that vision that we just spoke on. Each bump that you get over gives you more momentum, carries you into the next one that is undoubtedly going to come along. And honestly, before you know it, those hair loss worries, the feelings, those negative feelings that are coming up at the moment are going to be a thing in the past, and you're going to look back on it and almost be thankful for that time. Now, to see out this video, guys, I want to say cheers. And I just want to remind yourselves that right now, you have absolutely everything you need to overcome this hair loss battle, this challenge that you're finding yourself in. If you're struggling to deal with the balding, like you said, the confidence, all of the stuff that comes with it, please know that right now, you sat there watching this video or sending this email to me, you've already got everything you need to be able to deal with it. It's just at times of panic, of worry, when you're freaking out and you're really worried about what's going to be able to be coming in the future, that clouded judgment comes along, right? And you forget the vision, you forget the drive, you forget the things that you wanted to be, you wanted to achieve, okay? And this video is really here to just remind yourself that, like I just described, is actually who you are. It's not the hair loss situation, it's not the balding, okay? It's not those worries. So like I said, just a quick recap, find someone that you're going to be able to vent to, get it out there. Okay, get those feelings, get those emotions out there, tell them what you've got going on. And even if it's telling yourself, if you're just verbalizing those things, bring them into the real world, you're going to start to be able to see things a lot more logically that way. Once you be able to do that, that hunger, that drive, okay, who you really are starts to come out. Keep working on that stuff, let that momentum build. It's going to carry you through this troubling time that you find yourself in at the moment, but you have got everything you need to deal with it right now. This video and this channel and these stories are just little reminders of that. So I want to thank you for watching. If you are watching this as a result of having, reached out to me or sent me a message or a comment or anything like this, I really hope it helped you guys. And it's a pleasure to be able to make videos like this, how the channel kind of started. And I'm really pleased to be able to sit here, have a cheeky Cobra World beer, which I don't often do, but I wanted to break it out for this one. Cheers guys, and I'll see you in that next video. Goodbye.